Hi there. Hi. My name is Periwinkle Rose ASMR, and I am a tiny ASMRtist from Great Britain, specifically from the very south, the south coast, about as far south as you can possibly get, and I am super grateful to be included in this amazing collab by Emma Whispers Red, which is showcasing some wonderful talent and amazing people and amazing things to come out of Britain. I know there's a lot of cool stuff to come out of Britain, such as tea and Harry Potter and Stonehenge, as well as Tom Hardy, of course. But I wanted to talk about something slightly different. So it's more about the area that I'm from, which is Dorset. And what I wanted to tell you about was a very cool and special place to visit if you ever decided to come for a visit to the south of UK. I do hope that you might consider checking out this place. So I have this map. It's called the Great British Adventure Map. The Great British Adventure Map, which shows some of the coolest places for walks and hikes and cycle rides and even long drives. I can't open the map up fully. As you can see, it opens up huge, probably bigger than the wall behind me. But I just wanted to show you one particular place on this map, which, like I said, is Dorset, the Dorset coast. So it starts here in Studland Bay, and it goes all the way along here, down here, all the way over to there, which is Exmouth in Devon, the next county over. So from there to there, and that is the Dorset coast. You might be wondering, why am I telling you about the Dorset coast? It's actually not just a normal, regular coast. It's actually really special and unique because it's also known as the Jurassic Coast, and it is the first place in the whole of Great Britain, and it might actually be still the only place, but I'm not quite sure. I know that it's the first place to be recognised as a World Heritage Site. So So a World Heritage Site means a place of outstanding universal value. So in terms of history, geology, advancing research, things like that. So similarly, the Grand Canyon and the Great Barrier Reef are also recognized as World Heritage Sites, so it's quite a rare thing to be given that title. So for me, it's really cool that the Dorset coast has been given that title, since that's where I'm from. So it might not look like much, but it is 96 miles long, which I believe is the equivalent of about 156 kilometers. So you can actually walk this distance. You can do the whole thing in one day if you're quite fit. It is actually a kind of a popular challenge. Most people don't do the whole thing in one day. You can just do little parts of it. So I have done probably that tiny bit of it. It's about a 2-hour trek. So the reason it was recognised as a World Heritage Site is because it is one of the only places in the world, and again, possibly the only place, but I'm not 100% sure. So one of the only places to show evidence of the Triassic period, the Jurassic period, and the Cretaceous period. So those 3 periods are all evidenced here, and they're all part of the Mesozoic era, which is the age in which the dinosaurs lived. So that's quite cool. I don't believe there are actually any dinosaur fossils here though. The fossils are all mostly rocks and stones and sediment and gravel and things like that. But if you walk it from west to east, it has been described as a walk through time. So towards this end you'll see lots of different rocks and evidence and signs of the Triassic period, such as red stone walls along the cliff edges, which is part of the Triassic age. And then as you walk further inwards, you start to see evidence of the Jurassic period, so certain rocks and stones and things. So during the Triassic period, this whole area was a desert. During the Jurassic period, I believe sea levels rose and the whole thing became a tropical ocean, a tropical sea. And then in the Cretaceous period, I believe it became a swamp. And then of course eventually the sea levels dropped again and it became what it is now, which is a coastline. And these changes all happened over millions of years. So this place has a lot of cool history and geology, all in this tiny, in the grand scheme of things, it's quite a tiny stretch of the earth, and you can see quite a lot of history here. But it's not just the history that I wanted to tell you about. You can also see some really beautiful sights and some cool structures and landscapes as well. So here at Studland Bay, where we can begin if we was to go backwards, you have Old Harry's Rocks, which is 3 kind of chalk structures in the sea. Only one of the rocks is called Harry. There used to also be one called Old Harry's Wife, but unfortunately she eroded and now she's just a tiny stump. So, legend has it that Harry was a pirate who used to dock his ship here. Other legends say that he was a Viking, and it's also been believed that he was the devil who used to sleep on the rocks. Then, as you walk along to here, you come to Lulworth Cove and Durdle Door, which I think are by far the most spectacular sights to see here. So Durdle Door is a line of rock out into the ocean that has become, through erosion over the years, become an archway. So that's why it's called Durdle Door. And Lulworth Cove, again, caused by erosion, caused by the water from the sea washing and crashing against the sediment and just washing it away. It's a horseshoe shape, and I can't show you pictures because I don't have any, but if you look it up on Google, you'll see what I mean. So Lulworth Cove and Durdle Door, they're very special places to visit. Then as you walk further on, you come to Chesil Beach, which is a very unique beach. It's not the kind of beach that you would sunbathe on or lay out a deck chair. It's known as a barrier beach, and it's full of gravel and shingle and stones. So it's a stony beach. The interesting thing about Chesil Beach is 18 miles long, is that the sea has kind of rolled inwards, landwards. So you have the sea, and then you have a long stretch of beach, and then you have more sea on the other side, land side. So that's called Fleet Lagoon. So Chesil Beach has tiny pea-sized stones towards Bridport and larger potato-sized stones towards Portland, and it's been said that smugglers landing here could pick up a handful of gravel and stones and know exactly where they are along the coast, depending on the size of the stones that they've picked up. So that's kind of a legend. So thank you for listening and being willing to learn a little bit about the place I come from, and I hope that it's been interesting for you. But I believe my time is up, so I will leave you now